greatest of kings, let one of your knights try to land a blow against me. Indulge me in this game.
I will meet thee.
1 year hence.
There's something immediately hypnotic about a film like The Green Knight, a story that doesn't rush to explain itself, but instead invites you to sit with it, to wander through its shadows, and to question what it all means long after the credits roll. Released in theaters on July 30, this film arrives not as a conventional fantasy epic, but as something far more meditative and introspective, shaped by the distinctive vision of director David Lowery. Known for his ability to blend quiet emotion with visual poetry, Lowery takes a centuries-old Arthurian legend and transforms it into a deeply atmospheric cinematic experience that feels both ancient and strikingly modern. At the center of the story is Sir Gawain, portrayed by Dev Patel, in a performance that feels restrained yet deeply expressive. Gawain is not introduced as the noble, fully formed hero that audiences might expect from traditional Arthurian tales. Instead, he is uncertain, somewhat aimless, and still searching for a sense of identity and purpose. This choice alone sets the tone for the entire film. Rather than celebrating heroism outright, the narrative examines what it truly means to earn it. Gawain's journey is less about slaying monsters or conquering enemies, and more about confronting his own fears, weaknesses, and moral ambiguities. The premise is deceptively simple but loaded with symbolism. During a Christmas feast at King Arthur's court, a mysterious and imposing figure known as the Green Knight appears and issues a challenge. Any knight brave enough may strike him with an axe on the condition that the same blow be returned a year later. It's a test not of strength, but of courage and integrity. Gawain, perhaps driven by a mix of ambition and insecurity, accepts the challenge and beheads the Green Knight, only to watch in shock as the figure calmly picks up his own severed head and reminds Gawain of the agreement. What follows is the long, inevitable journey toward that fateful meeting a year later, where Gawain must face the consequences of his actions. What makes this story so compelling in Lowery's hands is how it unfolds not as a straightforward quest, but as a series of encounters that feel almost dreamlike. The film moves at a deliberate pace, allowing each moment to linger and breathe. There's an emphasis on mood, texture, and atmosphere that creates an immersive experience. Forests feel ancient and alive, castles seem weighed down by history, and even silence carries meaning. The cinematography captures this world with a painterly quality, using natural light, shadow, and color to evoke a sense of timelessness. Dev Patel's portrayal of Gawain anchors the film emotionally. His performance captures the internal conflict of a man who wants to be seen as honorable, yet isn't entirely sure how to live up to that ideal. There's a vulnerability in his expression, a sense that every decision he makes is shaped by doubt as much as by determination. As the journey progresses, Gawain is confronted with situations that test not only his bravery, but also his honesty, compassion, and sense of self. Each encounter serves as a kind of mirror, reflecting different aspects of his character and forcing him to reckon with who he truly is. Alicia Vikander plays a dual role that adds another layer to intrigue to the story. Her presence is both grounded and enigmatic, shifting between warmth and something more mysterious. She represents both connection and temptation, embodying themes of desire, loyalty, and the complexities of human relationships. Her interactions with Gawain are charged with tension, not in a conventional dramatic sense, but in a way that underscores the film's exploration of choice and consequence. Joel Edgerton's role contributes to one of the film's most memorable sequences, where hospitality and trust are put to the test in unexpected ways. His character introduces a dynamic that feels almost like a psychological game, pushing Gawain into a situation where the rules are unclear and the stakes are deeply personal. This segment of the film exemplifies how The Green Knight operates, less as a linear narrative and more as a series of moral and existential challenges that gradually shape Gawain's understanding of himself. One of the most striking aspects of the film is its refusal to provide easy answers. It doesn't hold the audience's hand or explain its symbolism outright. Instead, it encourages interpretation, allowing viewers to draw their own conclusions about what each moment means. Themes of honor, mortality, temptation, and legacy are woven throughout the narrative, but they're presented in a way that feels open-ended rather than definitive. This approach might not resonate with everyone, especially those expecting a more traditional fantasy adventure, but for those willing to engage with its ambiguity, the film offers a rich and rewarding experience. The pacing is deliberate, almost meditative, which may feel challenging at times. There are long stretches where very little happens in a conventional sense, yet these moments are filled with visual and emotional detail. The film invites you to observe rather than simply consume, to notice the way light filters through trees, the way characters move and react, the way silence can speak louder than dialogue. It's a style that demands patience, but also offers a kind of immersion that is rare in modern cinema. David Lowery's direction is central to this experience. He approaches the material with a clear sense of purpose, prioritizing tone and atmosphere over spectacle. While there are moments of tension and even bursts of violence, they are used sparingly and with intention. The focus remains on the internal journey of the protagonist, rather than on external conflict. This choice aligns with the film's thematic core, emphasizing introspection over action. The production design and costuming further enhance the film's immersive quality. Everything feels tactile and grounded, from the textures of clothing to the architecture of the settings. There's a sense that this world has history, that it existed long before the story began and will continue long after it ends. This attention to detail helps to anchor the more surreal elements of the narrative, creating a balance between realism and fantasy. Music and sound design also play a crucial role in shaping the film's atmosphere. The score is haunting and evocative, often blending with ambient sounds to create a sense of unease and wonder. It doesn't dominate the scenes, but rather complement them, adding emotional depth without overwhelming the visuals. Silence is used just as effectively, allowing moments to resonate in a way that feels almost tangible. As Gawain's journey unfolds, the film gradually builds toward its conclusion, which is as thought-provoking as it is ambiguous. Without giving anything away, it's a resolution that feels consistent with the film's overall approach, less about providing closure and more about prompting reflection. It raises questions about what it means to live honorably, to face one's fears, and to accept the consequences of one's choices. These are not questions with simple answers, and the film doesn't attempt to offer them. What makes The Green Knight stand out is its willingness to take risks. In an era where many films aim for broad appeal and immediate gratification, this one chooses a different path. It prioritizes artistry over accessibility, atmosphere over action, and introspection over exposition. This doesn't mean it's inaccessible, but it does require a certain level of engagement from the audience. It asks you to slow down, to pay attention, and to think. The performances, particularly from Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, and Joel Edgerton, contribute significantly to the film's impact. Each brings a unique presence to their role, enhancing the story's emotional and thematic depth. Their interactions feel natural yet layered, adding complexity to a narrative that thrives on nuance. Ultimately, The Green Knight is not just a film about a quest, but about the nature of quests themselves. It challenges the idea of what it means to be a hero, suggesting that true courage lies not in physical strength or bold actions, but in the willingness to confront one's own flaws and uncertainties. It's a story about growth, about facing the unknown, and about the choices that define us. For viewers willing to embrace its pace and its ambiguity, the film offers an experience that is both visually stunning and intellectually engaging. It lingers in the mind, inviting discussion and interpretation. It's the kind of film that rewards multiple viewings, revealing new layers and insights each time. In the end, The Green Knight stands as a testament to the power of storytelling that dares to be different. It's a reminder that cinema can be more than just entertainment. It can be an exploration of ideas, emotions, and the human condition. And through its haunting imagery, compelling performances, and thoughtful direction, it leaves a lasting impression that extends far beyond its runtime.